It's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
Welcome back to Anfield. This is going to be a season review and then a quick review of transfers, although there won't be too many in our third season, the upcoming season, which will be the 2021-2022 season. But we are going to do a quick review of the season that's just taken place, and then we're going to come back and show you any business I have done prior to the new season, objectives, goals, club vision, and have a quick rundown. This is James Games in Valencia, Spain. Remember to like and subscribe, leave your comments, anyone you want to see me sign, or there ain't going to be many signings, but anyone under 21 you think I've missed, anyone you think I should be getting rid of, any way you think we can improve. We're going to start with looking at another record being broken. Mbappe, who scored 50 goals for us, sets a new team record. Liverpool's previous top scorer in the season was Rush, who scored 47 in 1983. As you know, Mbappe was top goal scorer in the league. However, 31 appearances. He could have played 38, but obviously I was switching with Firmino in the league and in the cup. 30 goals, 7 assists, 7 player man of the matches. 30 goals in 31 Premier League appearances. Absolutely incredible. Had it not been for Firmino playing the games and an injury, which at the beginning of the year, he probably could have got close to 40. He actually didn't win Player of the Year though. He wasn't our best player over the season. Sorry. Obviously, if you saw last episode, you would have seen that Mohamed Salah won our Player of the Year. Obviously, his average rating wasn't as good as Mbappe's overall. 44 games, 7 coming on a sub, and he scored 50 goals. But Salah got a better average rating in the league. As I already showed in the last episode, he got 7.85, and usually the league's based on that. Mbappe scored 7 more than Jimenez and Aguero. Joint player of the matches, but obviously they do it on average rating, so Salah got player of the year. Mbappe won it last year, and as you saw in the last episode, manager of the year went to me again, 2 years in a row. If we just look at all goals from this season, again, Salah only scored 17 goals in 45 appearances, but he did get 14 assists. Roberto Firmino, 22 goals, obviously 22 games, 26 coming off the bench, and he scored 28 goals. Mane also got 28 goals, and then Mbappe 50 goals, absolutely incredible. Kai Havertz had a good season, 5 goals, 10 assists. João Felix, 10 goals, 7 assists. As you can see, look how many bench appearances, Havertz, Felix and Dybala. That shows the sort of rotation we had going on this year. 5 goals for Havertz, Joel Matip and Van Dijk at the back got 5 each. Few more for De Ligt, Fiorentino and Henderson. Most assists were Trent Alexander-Arnold, 17 from right back, 11 from Robertson, still really good, but obviously he was switching up a lot this year with Luca Pellegrini, the youth, who also got 10. Kai Havertz, all these players are going to be involved more and more. I mean, if you look at our squad, top to bottom now, it's just youth throughout. Let's go to our average age. I mean, if we look at that, from 18 to 22, more than half our squad is 22 or under now. A couple of older players there, obviously your Hendersons, Van Dijks, and the big boys I'm not going to get rid of, but from here upwards, more than half the squad is 22 or under, 18, 19, 19, and we've still got Darami to come back into the fold this year. Wijnaldum's going to be going this summer. If someone comes in huge for Mane, it's something I might look at, but I'm not desperate to get rid of him. Mbappe also set the record for most player of the matches award in history, 13, and he broke his own record from last year, which was 9. Alisson, 25 clean sheets, broke the record of a previous record, which was 11, that was also held by him. Club vision, we want a B-, even though we won the quadruple. A few things we haven't done great. The finance is the number one thing I need to improve on now, but obviously because I've been buying and trying to build the squad, that's definitely affected our club financial situation. As you can see, we're currently on minus 54 million. Somehow we've got a budget of 73 million. And for that reason, our stadium expansion that was due to be completed started on the 30th of 9th, 2020. They had to cancel it, which I think as soon as I get money in the bank, they'll restart that, because all I can do is build a new stadium. I can't do an expansion. So as soon as I've got money in, then they're going to start that. But don't forget, I've got all the Premier League money to come, all the TV money, all the sponsorship money, and I'm going to get rid of 1 or 2 players. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was sitting well over 100 million before the new season starts, and then it's just onwards and upward from there. I'm not going to be buying anyone this summer, so it's all youths. If we look at under 23s, have I got anyone that's going to be coming back up? Obviously, Ansu Fati's already in the first squad. Escobar, Hoover will be playing a lot more this year. Wijnaldum's going to go. Lewis Clarkson might have a go in the first team, and obviously Darame, who had a 5-month injury, he's going to be coming to the first team as well. I know I could probably get 100 million for Firmino, but I don't think it's something I want to do. Same as Mane, I could probably get 150 for him. So we'll take a look at it, because I've got youths who can cover them positions. But we've paid a lot of money to bring a lot of quality players in. Obviously, we're playing for Mbappe over months. But soon all that will be sorted. We'll have money in the bank, stadium expansion. Just wanted to show a couple of... Something I neglected, to be honest, until halfway through this season was under 18s. My coaches weren't amazing at all, to be honest. But I've signed a couple of decent coaches now, under 18 coaches. We already had Paul Hardyman, and we signed Hagen Schmidt, and there was one other player that we signed, one other coach that we signed. I'm not too sure if it got delayed actually. If I was quickly go and look at my staff shortlist. Who was it? It was Garcia. He was about to sign actually, but we had to pause it because we didn't have another coach there. But I'm going to sign him now. It should be okay. Yeah, so Garcia will come now. He's a really good coach. As you can see, working with youngsters 20. The coach that I had previously, Steve McManaman and someone else, just weren't good enough. So I've got them to come in now. For some reason, I signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic as a coach. Not amazing at all, but for some reason I just wanted to sign him in, but I'm sort of regretting it now. But I can't cancel his contract. I don't know what I was thinking. Have I signed him as a player? I think I've signed him as a player. What have I gone and done? I can't be that. I thought I signed him as a coach. He's joining Liverpool. But oh no, he's retiring on the 29th for the 6th. So I'm signing him in a coach's contract. Yeah, that's what I thought. I signed him because he was Zlatan. But I think that will improve really quickly, his coaching ability anyway. So we'll get him doing his badges. If not, I might get rid of him. I don't even know why I did that. I was talking to my pal and he was like, sign him. So bit of a mistake there. Go through the season. Obviously, we got knocked out of the Champions League in the group stage, which is something we're definitely going to improve on next year. We got knocked out first round in the first season and group stage in the second season. We went on to win the quadruple, so we've more than redeemed ourselves. Closest could be Porto 10, RB Leipzig 10, then we ended up on 9. But after that, after we went out of the Champions League, as we come down here, we took that loss to Southampton, and then we went on a 36-game unbeaten run, which was absolutely incredible. And then come towards the end of the season, we only lost one game in like 50 games, which was a home to Wolves, which we were battering them and they just broke twice. So after that Champions League, we switched a few things up, went a little bit more defensive, not as gung-ho. The youth players were obviously getting better. It took a while because I've signed so many players, but since Southampton, I mean, look at some of the wins, 6-0, 6-2. Can't see a game, only one game against Tottenham, 2 there, that we let more than one goal in. Or we let in 3 goals away to Real Madrid, but obviously we smashed them in the first leg. So we won that Carabao Cup final, 3-1 against Arsenal. Mbappe scoring a hat-trick, added towards his tally of 50. That was our first trophy of the year. We won the league at Reading, at home to Reading. Ended up 9 points ahead. We then finished off with a glorious season, 4-1 at home to Manchester United. So 4-1 at Wembley against Manchester United, absolutely smashed them. We was 4-0 up, and then Greenwood got a consolation goal. Firmino getting 2, Mbappe 1, and João Felix 1. As you can see, how many youths we got in that starting lineup. And then obviously we went on to win the Euro Cup, which will be the last time we're going to be in it, because we're going to go and win the Champions League next year. So we won the Euro Cup, Mbappe and Firmino, the 2 strikers, both rotated. And Firmino had a great end of the year out on the wide right. He'll probably play a bit more this year as well. So we beat Man City. So it was a 4-trophy season. The first season was the League, the Super Cup and the World Club Cup, which will be in next year. Super Cup, and I'm sure if we go and win that, we'll be in the World Club Cup as well. 4 trophies, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Euro Cup, and obviously the Premier League for the 2nd year in a row. I'm going to pause the video now. That was the end of the 2020-2021 season, so we're going to get ready and we're going to start. The second part of this video will be me going through any transfers that are done. I'm going to run through the squad, show you the stats and that, any coaches are getting over the summer saying I'm really going to concentrate on, then obviously the objectives for the 2021-2022 season. Be back in a moment. Okay guys, so I just wanted to quickly show you this. As you can see from your screen, we've now got 136 million in the bank. We was on minus 50, so we're not going to be spending any of that. We're actually going to be saving all of it and maybe selling one or two players. But if you look down here at the bottom of the screen, we've had 262 million income this month, 4.256 million from gate receipts, then we had 15 million from TV, 3 million merchandise. We then had 71 million from the season's prize money, which would be the Premier League and two cup wins as well as the Euro Cup. We've also been given money for the upcoming Champions League. 21 million from investments, which I'm not too sure might be money received from other players. And obviously we've got 140 million from our sponsors and a bit of match day income as well, 5 million other. So we've actually had 195 million come into the balance sheet. So we've gone from minus 50 million to 136 million. So now we can put that is going to go in the summer over improving our staff. We're going to sign 2 or 3 coaches for both the main team and the reserves and the under 18s. Try and get that stadium expansion back up. Not too sure how we do that, maybe that's automatic. And then just invest in the club. We're not going to buy any more players. Okay guys, so there we go. There is our transfer so far this season. As you can see, we have not bought anyone. No signings so far, and I doubt there will be. The only notable exit is Jorginho Wijnaldum. Sold him for 20 million to Inter Milan. He was on 100 grand a week. Already 30 years old, turning 31. Got 20 mil for him. I love Wijnaldum in real life, but we've got Florentino, Kai Havertz, Sergio Gomez, Fabinho, and a few others in centre midfield. So we got rid of him. Got rid of another youth on for free. Then we got a couple of players out on loan. Leighton Clarkson. He's only 3-star, but he actually plays really good for the reserve. So sent him out on loan for years, only 19. Curtis Jones is 20, quite decent stats. So we got rid of him on loan for the year. Just have a quick look at our previous transfers, so you can have a look at them like this. Last year, you can see we've signed quite a few players. Every one of them 21 and under. Matthias de Ligt, João Felix, Kai Havertz, Ansu Fati, Pellegrini, and Sergio Gomez, as well as Zach Staunton, 18-year-old 4-star possibility. I can't even remember where we got him from. I just saw him on a free transfer. Yeah, I think he was available for a trial, and I saw him and thought 4 stars, English. He's got some good stats, and he's only 18, so he could be quite good. And obviously last year's sales, 205 million. We ended up getting rid of a lot of players, most notably Wilson, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Shaqiri, Grujic, Karius, Klein, Brewster, Ojo, Miller. I mean, there's a lot of players who went out last year, and obviously in the first year, spent a bit of big money on a couple of players, 150 million on Mbappe over months, so I think we're still paying for that now. Dybala, Florentino has been, this is his 3rd year now. Jordi Escobar, still only 19, going to get quite a few more games this year. Darami, who was on loan and then got injured, Herrero, and obviously Vignato. We got him for 200 grand. He's now worth 14 million, 4.5 stars, and look at his stats for a 20-year-old. 200 grand up for 14 million. Obviously that season we sold Keita, Origi, Lovren, Lallana, and a few other players. But yeah, that's it so far this year. And we aren't actually at the beginning of the season yet. The World Cup has been playing over the summer, and it's going really well so far. It actually started at the end of last season. So we played River Plate. What I did, basically we won the quadruple, and then because the World Cup Championship was in the summer, I had to have a couple of early friendlies. So we're talking about the leagues in August, and we had to play our first friendly in June. So that's why I wanted to keep a big squad. I've actually had a bid. They bid 120 million for Sadio Mane, Barcelona. I told them no, I want 150 million. I don't want to sell him, but I've got Ansu Fati and a few other players on the left. I'm going to go through that in a moment. So if they give me 150 million, I'll sell him. And also Dybala, if I get 100 million for him, I'll sell him. Other than that, I think I'm just going to keep the squad as it is because I've got so many games coming up. I had to play my first 2 friendlies to get my team warmed up for the World Club Championship in June. First game in the World Club Championship, well, we had a group stage. We played River Plate and beat them 2-0. Fairly easy, to be honest. Mbappe and João Felix scoring. Salah, Florentino, Luis, Havertz, Fabinho and Hoover. Hoover started at left back because Robertson and Pellegrini were both injured. Trent getting man of the match. We then played Chivas, the Mexican team. Played a few more, even more youths at this. I mean, look, Joe Gomez, Pellegrini, Sergio Gomez, who's going to be amazing. I can't believe we got him. 5-star potential, 20 years old. We got him for 2.8 million for Dortmund. What were they thinking? Vignato, João Felix, but he didn't play too great, so we took them on, brought Mbappe, Salah, Havertz, and we ended up wrapping it up. We was 1-0 down to him at one point. So we won that group stage, and that knocked us through to the knockouts, which has now gone from the end of last season onto this summer. So you can see what I'm saying. There's 4 games we've already played there, and by the time we get down to here, it would have been 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you include the Charity Shield, it would have been 12 games before the Premier League's even started. So I need to keep my squad big, but I'm not buying anyone more. We've got too many youth players that I need to get involved. I might end up selling 1 or 2 more players, but I won't know until the window, or until at least the beginning of the season, because I've still got like a month of transfers and negotiating to do. But I had to show you this now because obviously we've got the World Cup Championship final coming up, and it is against Manchester United. Obviously, you know, it doesn't just put the Champions League winner versus the Europa Cup winners. That's the Super Cup. Paris Saint-Germain actually won the Champions League last year. I can't remember who they beat, to be honest. They beat last year in the final in the Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain beat Manchester United 2-1 in extra time. Actually, I do remember that. Keita won that, scored the winning goal. Per eyesight. Look at Paris Saint-Germain's team. It's absolutely incredible. I just got to quickly show you this, the transfers they've been doing. This summer, I don't know what they're thinking. They're buying all older players, but they bought Sergio Ramos. They got him on a free. Still got really good stats at 35 years old, so that's not a bad signing. Bit slow, but amazing stats. They then signed Jordi Alba for 39 million, what would rise to 39 million. He's 32 years old. They signed Sergio Aguero for, he's 33 years old. Obviously, all their stats are still amazing. They're just old. 40 million, and then they bought Kovacic from Chelsea for 58 million, and he's 27 years old. Didn't really sell anyone. Last year, they brought in Kante, Icardi, Semedo from Barcelona, Witsel, Everton, Otamendi, Christian Eriksen on a free, and they'd already, the first season they just bought Keita and sold Mbappe for me. So Paris Saint-Germain are ones to look out for. They beat Man United 2-1 in the Champions League final last year. Man United are a real threat. They won the Europa League the first year, and then they got to the final this second year. Obviously, I beat them in the FA Cup final. So the past 2 Champions League winners have been after we won it, but the first season on this save was Tottenham, who obviously beat Bayern Munich in the final, and then Paris Saint-Germain meet Man United in the final. Obviously we won the Europa League and then the treble last year. But yeah, so continuing on from what happened, so we won the group stage after beating Chivas 2-1. We then played Bayern Munich in the quarter-final, absolutely battered them. It was 3-0 or 3-1 at half-time. Again, all the youths involved, Vignato, 200 grand from Kiego, Ansu Fati, who is a big decision for me to make. He needs minutes and he needs to be playing, and he plays in the exact same position as Sadio Mane. I bought him from Barcelona, so do I sell Sadio Mane for 120, 130 million, stick that in the bank, because obviously I want to get to $1 billion. That was one of the major goals on this save, to get to $1 billion as well as dominate. I've got backup, even if Ansu Fati starts. I've got João Felix, Elliott, and a few other players who can play there. Firmino can also play there, so it just really hurts me to get rid of Sadio Mane. So we'll see how it goes over next month. But yeah, we beat them 4-1 anyway, smashed Bayern Munich, who haven't really improved their squad too much, nowhere near the squad of Paris Saint-Germain. Smashed them 4-1. We then got Barcelona in the semi-final, and this is one of the best games I've played in ages. It was so tight. It might not show it from the highlights, but I'll show the goals quickly because it was World Club semi-final. So we beat them in the semi-final, and now we've got Manchester United in the final, which will be my next episode. So I just wanted to show you where I was at with the transfers and the season review before we started the actual games, because this isn't really a summer, a review or transfers. As you can see here, I remember this going out to De Jong. Salah going out to De Jong, and half an hour in, I was thinking, how am I going to come back to Barcelona? But this Liverpool team never repent, they never surrender. Florentino stepping up with a nice header. before, I believe it was Mbappe. No, it wasn't. It was Mo Salah. Wrapped it up at 74 minutes. I was going nuts because look at Barcelona's team. Suarez, Griezmann, Leroy Sané from Manchester City, Messi, De Jong, Busquets. It's a really, really good team they got there. But we're just obviously better. So beating Barcelona, Manchester United actually beat Tottenham. It's amazing how much the English teams dominate on this game. I know Paris Saint-Germain won the Champions League, but Man United won Europa League first year. We won it second. Tottenham won it first year, Champions League, and then PSG won it. So it's us versus Manchester United in the World Cup Championship final. We then go and play 4 friendlies to keep the team fit. We've then got the Community Shield against Arsenal and the Europa Super Cup against Paris Saint-Germain. What games these 3 games are going to be? And that's after our first Premier League game, we've got the opportunity to have won 3 trophies. We then got the Champions League, the Carabao Cup, the League and the FA Cup to worry about. So this next period here is going to be huge. So like I said, it's not really a summer for my team. That's another reason to thinking about keeping Mane and Dybala, because I've just got so many games to play. By the time we get to December, I'll probably play 40 games. Coming up to the final, you can see I've got a problem at left back. I've got Pellegrini, Gomez and Robertson out, but we'll talk about that in the next episode. Just wanted to let you know I wasn't going to be finishing this with too much of a review because I didn't realise how many games I had in the summer. I can't just play the World Cup Championship games, then have a month off, so I've got to play friendlies as well. So obviously that's 5 games in there, then 4 friendlies. It'll be 9 games before we get to the Community Shield. I want all 3 of these. The World Club Cup, the Community Shield and Super Cup. A couple more bits of news. I've actually asked for quite a few things from the board. I asked for improved training facilities, although they're already superb. They've allowed me to improve it. Also improved youth facilities, which are already superb. Tranmere are now my feeder club, so I'm going to be sending them a few players. I also increased the amount of physios and coaches I'm allowed, which I'm going to show you now. At the end of the last year, I ran out of money and they cancelled the stadium expansion. And I can't at the moment do one, so I don't know if after a while they'll just restart that. It started on the 30th and 9th of last year, so hopefully I can expand the stadium at a later date once I get a bit more money. I'm on a B- at the moment. With regards to staff, I signed absolutely loads of staff over the summer, first team, reserves and under 18s. This is who I got for my head of youth development. If you haven't signed this guy before, sign him now. Look at that. My assistant manager is really good as well, so I didn't turn him into assistant manager, but you've never seen anything like it. I mean, look at them stats. Absolutely incredible. So I put him in charge of quite a few tasks. Bernard Peters, and he was actually on a free. I think he was playing for a German team. Hamburg. He actually got released from Hamburg. I'm actually going to start starting a season with Hamburg over the Christmas and New Year period. I haven't had too much time. But Hamburg are going to be my next team. I've actually started to save and done a few transfers, so that will be uploaded very, very soon. Got a lot of work to do. Obviously the Christmas and New Year is over now, so now it's back to the goal getting. I also signed Rui Barbosa, goalkeeping coach. If you look at his goalkeeping stats down here, as well as up here, signing from West Ham, really good goalkeeping coach. Who else did we got? We signed a couple more coaches to go on top of what we already had. We got Mario Cecchi in. I think he was from Lazio. No, he was in a lower. Well, he was a free agent then, but he's got really good stats. Got him in as a coach. We got Miguel D'Agostino again. Good stats, got him in as a coach. Bergkamp I bought before, not an amazing coach, but I think he'll get better, and obviously I just like Dennis Bergkamp, so we brought him in we got a team full of Dutchies, as well as a good few Dutch viewers. Shout out to Robert. So I thought I'd get a little Dutch coach in there. That's the first team. Then we go down to our reserves, under 23s and under 18s. I was actually going to sign Ibrahimovic as a coach, but the board actually said I wasn't allowed to sign any more coaches, which was good because I actually didn't want to sign him in the end, so that was alright. Who did we sign for the under 23s? I think we bought this guy. Yeah, that's who we got. I mean, some of these coaches haven't. Did we sign him? Well, anyway, he's really good for an under 23 coach anyway. Norbert Elgart. Rob Jones. He was already here. No, it was the under 18s we signed. We signed a few physios for the under 23s. For the under 18s, I think is where we signed the extra staff. So let's have a look. Who did I sign? Yeah, that's it. We signed this guy as a fitness coach for the under-17s. It's hard to get players who are really coaches who are really amazing for the youths, but that's good stats for a fitness coach. We also signed this guy, working with youngsters, 19, and decent enough stats, especially for a youth coach. And I think Hagen Smith was already here, yeah. So we ended up signing about 10-15 coaches. I won't go through all the physios and that. Sitting on 103 million in the bank. We're currently spending 4.2 million of our budget, which is wage budget of 4.6 million. Obviously, I can adjust that a bit. I can transfer up to 93 million, or I can put it up to 6 million wage budget, but I don't think we'll do anything too much now anyway, so I'll keep it like that. Keep the wage budget on 5 million, even though we're on 4.2. We've got 103 million in the bank. We've got offers coming in for Dybala and Mane. If we ever look at the squad, I mean, there's our starting lineup team. We've got Pellegrini, Alexander-Arnold, De Ligt, Van Dijk, Alisson, Fabinho, Havertz, Luis, João Felix, Salah, and Mbappe. And then, I mean, look at the bench. We've still got Grabara, training really well. He's not amazing, but 22 years old. No need to buy another goalkeeper, I don't think, unless we get some serious injuries. We've got Joel Matip, Joe Gomez, Hoover, who's going to have a big role to play this year, still only 19. Trying to think how many Dutch players we've got. We've got Van Dijk, De Ligt, Hoover. There was another one or two we got there. I can't remember who else we got. Dutch players. Van Dijk, De Ligt, Hoover, and there was another one I'll remember in a moment. We got Ansu Fati, Dybala, Sergio Gomez, who I showed 2.8 million, 5 stars. He's going to be really big for us this year. Ansu Fati, incredible ratings for an 18-year-old. If we look at Florentino Luis, who we got in the first season, going to be 5 stars, worth 67 million now. I think he was injured, so his stats are going down. But if you look at his midfielding stats, tackling, positioning, teamwork, work rate, stamina, he's absolutely incredible. As is Kai Havertz, one of the best players on the game, this guy. 4.5 stars already, 4.5 star potential, 22, worth 73 million. Amazing stats. So them two have got that role there. I'm thinking I might start putting Luis there a bit more, and then giving Sergio Gomez a game as well as Hendo. We then got Vignato and Escobar, I've already shown. We still got Firmino. We've got Robertson, Henderson, Saks, Staunton, who I showed. Mane, Harvey Elliott, who's being trained both positions, still only 18 years old, English and really good stats. So things are looking good. We're on for 7 competitions this year. Obviously the World Club Championship, which is going to be my next episode, and is actually today in the game at 3 o'clock. We then come back and I'll have the Arsenal Community Shield. I might do them 2 in one episode. Then the Super Cup, then it's straight into the League and the Champions League. So I'm going to need every one of them players in my squad. We're about to start the 3rd season, so that's my summer review done. I do apologise that I couldn't do it closer to the season and wrap up all the transfers, so they will have to be in a later episode, because obviously I don't know what's going to happen over the next month, but that will do. Remember to like and subscribe, guys. Share the video, leave a comment, anything you think I should do over the next month in the transfer, anything you think I can improve on. Peace.